Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of American Tank Ace here on the World War II Solitaire board game channel. So this is episode 4. This is going to be our 4th mission, and let's just recap here quickly. We are part of the 4th Armored Division. Our tank commander is still the very first rank. Our only award so far has been the European, African and Middle East campaign medal, so that means we are prestige level 0 with no prestige left. We have bought some booze for an Iron Cross, and we still have 1 Iron Cross left as a war trophy. And our skills are currently, our tank commander has a synergy skill, very good one. Our assistant driver has weapons maintenance, and our loader has weapon maintenance. Our gunner has the -1 in case we do decide to buy the gunnery skill moving on. Okay. So we're gonna roll for our next mission assignment, and we're still in June 1944. That means there cannot be any major operations, but there can be a bunch of different kind of missions. Roll 2d6 on A1 and roll 8, which is an attack. I think attacks are kind of fun, but the risk of getting those counterattacks is not very nice. Okay, and we need to roll for our weather and our terrains. We start by rolling for weather, and we roll 4, which is gonna be clear in June, so that's good news. And then we go ahead and roll for our terrain, and roll a d6 for that. And we roll a 3, which is that damn bocage, which means we have to start close range. And that's not very good with attack, since the enemies will get to fire first. So we need to roll for our enemies and roll 2d6. We roll 7, which is 1 AT gun and 2 infantry. So we still have not met a single tank or SPG or even a like a recon vehicle, whatever. That's pretty strange. Anyway, we roll a d10 now for the AT gun. And the 80 gun on a 10, that is an 88. So that's not very nice. Let's hope that he will not target us in the very first step. So that's an 88, also known as a Pack 43, that has armor penetration value of 9. And we roll for our enemy infantry and roll 2, so that is going to be standard. I want to remember. Yes, standard infantry, so that means 2 Wehrmacht infantry counters. And we roll to see where they start. We roll for the Pack 33 first, and it starts at 5, which is over here. And the infantry starts at 3. And the next infantry guy starts at 1, so they're spread out. And let's get rid of that damn dog hair. And let's see here, the infantry will start dug in, since it is an attack mission. The Pack 43 will not. Before we get going here, I'm gonna ask again. I asked you in the second episode, no one answered, so I'm gonna ask again. Is this recording, this fit of the board, is this okay for you? Because we're missing part of the M4 here, but we do have the most relevant part, which is the ammunition and our turret position and if our hatches are open or not. So I'm asking again, is that okay? Because I could potentially show the whole map, but that would be really zoomed out, because I tried putting these two beside each other, but it's really, I have to go so far up that it's really hard to see what's going on. So I think this is the best way, but let me know what you think. Do you think I should zoom out? I did show you how everything looked in the beginning of episode 1, so you might want to look at that for reference, but I think it's hard to see. I don't have a very big screen though for my computer, so that might be the reason. But anyway, let me know what you think. Okay, so anyway, it is gonna be some battle going on now, and yes, I'm not gonna get to start. Since it's an attack, the enemy will get to start. So we roll for the enemies. We start left to right, so this guy. On a roll of 1, he will target my tank. 2, oof, next guy. 3, so we don't have to deal with an Panzerfaust, but we have the 88. Ah, that's very bad, my friends. The 88 targets me. Oh, crap. Okay, so he is we'll look at the B1 chart. He is firing from close range, 2 to 7 to hit. We currently have no modifiers, so yeah. This means that he will hit me now on 2 to 7, roll 2d6, and roll 7. So that means I have been hit, and very likely I've also been killed. My yes, we will actually get to see the penetration rules. That's the first time that we actually deal with them. The first thing we need to do now, since we know that it's a hit, we need to roll to see if it's a turret hit or hull hit. And you can't see it right now, so I'll quickly show it to you here. But we have few different armor values. We have our turret armor, which is 6, hull, which is 5, and side, which is 4. In this specific scenario, it doesn't really actually matter because the 88's penetration value is 9, so it's it's gonna exceed no matter if it hits my hull, my rear, my turret, but we'll just do it for learning purpose. So roll a d6, and on a roll of 6, that means that he hits the hull. Actually, a roll of 3 to 6 is hull. On a roll of 1 to 2, you have a turret hit, and you want to, of course, prefer to get a turret hit because that's going to be your highest armor value. So we look at B3 chart here, main gun 80 penetration chart, and we can see that if the penetration is higher than the armor, only on a roll of 2 or 3 am I not destroyed. So yeah, this is not going to end well, my friends. We can see, however, here also range does have an effect on penetration. At short range, you have a +1 to penetration. So that basically means this pack 43, the 88, he actually doesn't only have a 9 penetration value, which is indicated here on the counter. He actually has a 10 because he's firing from close range. So penetration is definitely higher than my armor. We roll the dice and we pray to God to roll a 2 or a 3. We roll a 9. And that is the shortest mission ever, and that's what happens sometimes. We have been destroyed. Okay, so now for the not so fun part of this game. What we have to do now is roll for B6 fire and bailout chart. And we have a chance here now to actually immediately die. If we roll a 12, that means our tank explodes and everyone in my crew are dead. There's no way to survive. That's just what's going to happen. We all die. So roll the 2d6 and roll a 6. So that's extremely lucky. That means we did not explode. And the tank also did not catch on fire. Because if it catches on fire, well, you're going to have a +2 to the next table that we're rolling on. And the next table we roll on is B6 bailout table. So we can see here that we are going to attempt to bail out. On a roll of 10 or higher, you're killed in action. On this specific table, you have a +2 modifier if the tank also caught on fire during the fire explosion check. However, it did not, so we only have to roll 9 or lower to survive. So we go ahead and start, of course, with our commander. We know that our commander has to survive. If he dies, the campaign is over. So if we roll a 10, 11, 12 now, the campaign is over. Let's see what happens. We roll a 10. Ladies and gentlemen, the campaign is over. Or actually, look at this. And that's why you choose stamina, man. Because that stamina, I will use that up. And that is gonna let my commander's killed in action result instead turn into a serious wound result. And again, you gotta go with stamina. There just is no other way to do it. Grab that stamina while you can. Okay, so we are instead now seriously wounded instead of killed in action. thanks to our stamina. So now we have to roll on B7 to see if our wound is a light wound, if we are seriously wounded or killed in action. And that might seem a little bit confusing. It doesn't have anything to do with my serious wounds. So the procedure here is first roll to see if the tank explodes or catches on fire. Then for each individual crew member, roll for bailout, and then roll on B7 for the wound chart. So here again, we have an opportunity to end our career very early. If we roll an 11 or 12 now, that means the game is over. And we roll 7, so that is a light wound, which doesn't affect us because we're already seriously wounded. So now we're gonna go ahead and roll directly on the serious wound resolution chart. The thing here now is that if we roll a 2, we're again gonna be out of, the mission is gonna be over, because on a roll of 2, as we can see here on C2, serious wound resolution chart, double amputation or amputation, medically retired. But if I roll anything higher than 2, we go on. And I do roll 8, which is multiple injuries. We're out, we miss 5 missions, and that's okay. That's also good because if we roll a 6 or lower, which means 8 or more missions, you lose all of your crew, all of that stuff, and then you lose your crew member skills and so on. And I'm gonna note here on the mission log now, wounded 5 weeks. So that's not so bad. Definitely could have been worse. And that means also we fail. This is our first failed mission. And I'm just gonna draw a line for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 missions that were out, and that's our commander. So now we get to our gunner, and we roll first on B6 on the bailout table, and he rolls a 3, so he makes it out. And then we roll on the wound chart, and the wound chart he rolls an 8, so he's just lightly wounded. That's all right. Our loader is still alive. What about our driver? Our gunner is still alive. What about our driver? We roll on the B6 bailout chart, and we roll a 10, so that unfortunately means that he is killed in action. We go ahead and roll for our assistant driver. He rolls a 7, so he makes it out. And then we roll on the wound chart, and on the wound chart he rolls a 10. That is a serious wound. So we're gonna roll out on C2 to see his wound. And we roll a 7, which is bullet through arm, so he misses 6 missions. So that's more missions than my commander, so that means we have to replace him. So I'm just gonna go ahead and note here, driver, you can't see me, but I'm writing here, driver out. Okay, and then we roll for our assistant driver on the bailout chart. He rolls an 11, so he's killed in action. This is not going very good. And then we go ahead and, I'll AD, killed in action. And then we roll finally for our loader, who has a +2 to this table because he doesn't have a hatch in this tank. No loader hatch, +2 to bail out for the loader. And we roll 7, which means he does not get out, I think, 9. Oh no, he gets out. Wow, lucky guy. Let's roll for the wound chart, and he rolls a 10. So that's a serious wound. Let's see how serious it is. We roll a 4, leg wound. He's 32 missions out. Yeah, we lose that guy too. Okay, so that's that is the end of that mission, and yeah, we lost a lot of good guys. Alright, so some stuff went down. I was sent to the hospital for 5 weeks, or I am being sent to the hospital for 5 weeks. We have lost our loader and we have lost our assistant driver, so we lose these. We lose our synergy, however, with the synergy, we could buy it back with the booze, but this is a problem now. because the boost is lost since we lost our tank. And so is the Iron Cross. I could, trade the boost for an Iron Cross, but since I lost Iron Cross, I kept that in my tank. I can't buy back the boost, so I do lose the synergy, but one experience to buy it back, or I could use boost to buy it back. But for now, it's lost, and I'm just gonna have to deal with that. I did win, or I was awarded a purple heart for my serious wound, so that gives me 1 prestige point, and it also gives me 1 in prestige level. And my driver, assistant driver, and loader were killed in combat, so I will get to replace them, and I will do that right away. And I will also get to do the Fort Knox training again. So we'll look at F1, and for our driver, we roll 2 times on chart B5, mod column with a -1. And if we don't get a 5 or lower, we get I for terrain -1. And the first roll is a 5, which turns into a 4 with the trainee, so we do not get that. With our assistant driver and loader, we will roll for weapons training. We will roll to see if we can get a 9 or higher, and if we do, we get that weapons maintenance -1 marker. So our assistant driver does not get it, and our loader does not get it either, because he rolls 8. Yeah, so that's unfortunate. I basically lose all the progress I've made, and yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. Well, we'll see what we'll do with that prestige point, if we decide to upgrade our tank, or if we just decide to stay in the standard M4. I'm gonna think about that until next episode, so that's gonna be something that you're gonna wanna think about too. Would be cool to hear your opinion. And yeah, on the mission here on the log sheet, I've just noted it was a mission failure. Loader out, driver out due to serious wound, assistant driver killed in action, we were destroyed, and I'm out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 missions. So next mission here is going to be in the middle of July, and we're going to have the opportunity of possibly getting a major operation. And yeah, Emma is dead, so let's scratch out her name. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna go with the M4 basic one or not, so I'll leave that there for the time being. And I just want to say thank you for joining me for this very horrific episode. Still crazy, we're in July now, and we haven't met any tanks or SPGs. And in my very first mission when playing offline, I met enough enemies to get a distinguished service cross. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed, like and comment on the video, helps me out a lot. You can also become a supporting member of the channel. For only $2.99 US a month, you will support me and the channel, you're going to help me get better camera equipment, more games, stuff like that. You just click on become member on YouTube and it's automatic. Or you can do a one-time donation, preferably through PayPal. You will find my PayPal description or address in the video description. You can use YouTube Super Thanks, but be aware that I think they take 40% or something like that out of your donation. So if you donate $100, well, I only get 60 and YouTube gets 40. That does not happen when you donate through PayPal. Okay, guys, thank you so much again. I will see you for episode 5 of American Tank Case.